Hi guys, welcome to the third video in the How to Write an Analytical Essay series. Last time we talked about how to plan your essay. Today we're going to talk about how to get those ideas down onto paper and put them in some kind of logical format. So let's get started. The objectives for today: number one, how to get all those brilliant ideas from your brainstorming down on a piece of paper. And number two, how to structure your essay so that it makes sense, so that it flows in an order that makes sense and does all those brilliant ideas justice. Okay, so you've done all this great work. You've hopefully got a massive page filled with all these kinds of brilliant ideas. Now what you want to do is go back to the keywords, read that question again, pick out what are the really important parts that you need to address in your essay. Okay, from there, you need to work out an answer. So how are you going to address that question? What is your overall argument? And this is what we call a thesis. So it's something that you're arguing and that you're using evidence in the text to support you. Okay. And the very last thing here, trying to work out in that thesis, how can you break that apart into different paragraphs so that you're answering the question. So making an argument, how can you break that down into paragraphs? So here are some ideas for how you can do that. There are different ways that you can structure an essay. So you can structure it in terms of techniques, characters, scenes or events, or an aspect of a central theme or idea. So I'm going to walk you through each of those now. So number one, techniques is probably one of the most common ways to structure a senior analytical essay. And that's because you're really talking about techniques and how they impact a central or explore a central idea. And so for a lot of essay questions, it's pretty logical to just go through technique by technique. Okay? So I've got an example question here. How does the author use techniques to explore the idea of enduring love? So each paragraph explores and breaks down a different technique and how that addresses or explores the idea of enduring love. Okay. The second one here, characters. This is very common when you're talking about character development. So I've got an example question here. The only thing you can always count on is that hearts change. How has the director of Howl's Moving Castle, a brilliant film, used techniques to explore the idea that characters change? Okay, so for each paragraph you might address a different character of the film, making sure that you touch on those techniques. Okay, but you might talk about how Sophie changes, and throughout the film she actually changes in terms of physical appearance, and because it's an animated film we talk about illustration, and that's a filming technique. Okay, alrighty. Scenes and events. This is definitely another way that you can explore an essay question, such as this one. So, to what extent is Macbeth responsible for his own downfall? Really common question when you are analysing Macbeth, and often causes a lot of tension among students. So in this essay here, if it was me, I would break it down in terms of scenes. So each of these scenes, who is to blame for the actions or the events that are happening? So the prophecy scene, the murder of King Duncan, the murder of Macduff's family, and the prophecy scene number 2. So you would talk about each of these scenes and break it down, analyse, and also discuss techniques. Really important that you don't forget that one. The very last one here is an aspect of the central idea or theme. So this one here, you are pulling out that central idea, breaking it down into parts so that each of your paragraphs really explores it in a different way. So here, this is a poetry essay question. How does the poet explore the nature of hope? So in each of these paragraphs you are talking about a different aspect of hope and making sure that you're talking about techniques to support each of those points. So take home message here, make sure that regardless of which way you choose to structure your essay, you are talking about techniques and how they relate to your central idea. Really important that you don't forget techniques because you'll lose a lot of marks in your essay. Alright, so have a go. Don't be afraid to just have a look at that question, follow those steps, and have a go. If it doesn't work, it's not the end of the world. You can scrap that plan and try again. But it'd be awful if you finished your entire essay, then realised you haven't really answered your question properly and need to go back and restart. This is why planning is really important. It saves time in the end. Okay, so don't be put off if you get it wrong the first time. That's more than all right. And make sure that you answer your question. It happens more often than you would think that students forget to answer the question. So that's it for this video. I'll see you next time for how to structure each individual paragraph according to teal structure. So have fun planning, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.